we'll be going that way. I'm from that side. I think I get tangled up somebody's land on this side. And yes, folks, I am near Howard. There's supposed to be a stream that way, but I don't know. Alright, folks, well, the river is that way. Like I said, there's a stream that might be that way. We decided to pick this way. I'm trying to get away from the road as much as possible here, but I'm going to turn around and show you what I'm kind of doing, because I'm kind of busting brush to get back here. Now, this came from that direction, and as you can see, we hadn't stuck up here. It was easier just to go through from up there. So the river's right there. I'm not going to go through this because I get even further down there, it's just going to get worse as thick as it is. And I'm going to try to go through that, and then hopefully that way some more, and we'll go from there. So I'll get back with you guys. I can't record and try to bust through here at the same time. Alright, so this really isn't about keeping my stuff off the ground. I do like this knot, but this is just really keeping me from bending over. Backbreaker knot, Marlin spike hitch. Don't want to bend over knot. That's what I'm gonna call it. I don't want to bend over. And I am a little. I guess I could set it up a little bit higher so I didn't have to, but it's fine where it's at. It's not like I'm having to do this. We'll go through the contents. I actually have the stuff sitting on a tree here. You know, the tree's tilted. I have a branch here, so I'm going to line my stuff up against each other and keep them falling. Alright, so here's what we got. I made myself a hobo reel here. Now, I did tie the arbor knot, but one of the mistakes I made was I should have left this a little bit rough. Even though I tied the arbor knot, or the Canadian jam knot, whichever, I'm going to call it the jam knot. But I tied that jam knot in there because this was smooth. Fishing line dug in a little bit, but it was still sliding around. So I just went ahead and used Gorilla Tape. I am going to try and make a bevel later on for the fishing line to set on there. I'll probably have to use Gorilla Tape again. You can kind of see different areas that I played with. But I think that would be alright for a bevel, because the way this is rolling up. I got about 50 feet worth of fishing line on there. They suggested, I went with their suggestion, 30 to 100 feet worth of fishing line. So I thought, okay, I'll do 50. And I practiced with casting it. This ain't the straightest stick in the world. It ain't bad, but it ain't great. I probably should round that off. Now, there's things I still want to work on with this, but it's not bad. What kind of wood, I don't know. But I know it's nice and hard. And you'll see pictures on the community side of what I got this off of. Not the tree, but I found this laying on the ground, big old stick. You'll see that. But I stuck with the fat side up here and kind of the skinny side down here. Like I said, I may work on this for more of a bevel to fit this in here. We'll see. As far as doing anything fancy, make this hollow, I'm not going to do all that. This is what I want to show you could do this on the fly. So that's kind of what I did. And I always carry some type of tape in case I have issues, which I did with the fishing line sliding around. Rubber bands come in real handy. So keep rubber bands in your survival kit, because that's what's holding all this. And it's the same with my fishing line. I just went ahead and brought the whole roll out here. This small roll don't weigh that much. Plus it helps keep it rolled up. I don't like necessarily doing the whole figure eight with fishing line. I get tangled up every time. And I get rubber bands to hold it together. Now I had a thought process that I was going to drag my whole fishing kit out here. I'm not going to do that. I wanted to leave room in the haversack, so I got thinking about how can I do this. And I remember a video I watched, and I don't know who had it, where he stuck his hooks, his split shot weights. I do have a lure in here too. You almost see it right there. I didn't get that closed all the way. But I do have a lure in there. I should have folded it a little bit better. It was just sticky right there. I tried to fold it over a minute ago. I thought it was going to, it might. But the way I have this folded over, all I got to do is take it, and it rips right open. So, I got about 3 or 4 hooks. I'm using 2 of those split shot weights to help me cast and help it sink. I do have a bobber in my jacket here, in case I decide to use a bobber. It looks like the river really isn't flowing, so I might use a bobber. We'll see. I might cast a few times, and I'll be on here too. I'm hoping to catch something. I want to primitively cook it and show you guys that. So we'll see. I talked with a guy, and I trust what he's saying. He says he's got a bait that likes to camp out here. He's probably further away from the road I am. And he fishes in this river. This river used to be dirty. Then they put a water treatment plant, and they said they done a lot of cleanup work in this river. He goes, his bait eats the fish, but eaten it for quite some time. And, well, he isn't sick or dead yet. So, we're good with that, so I don't have to worry about pollution. That's one of the things I do kind of worry about. People will be people. Don't matter where I go. In fact, I saw a cup, I'm going to drag it out of here, or someone just throwing a cup. Styrofoam. It's just the facts of life, whether I like it or not. People will be people. So, I'm going to shut up, and we're going to get to fishing. I got to look for a worm. One of the things I attached on here before I shut up, this handy dandy shovel. Let me see if I can get it off there. I just went ahead and put it on here. If I can, I'll get back to you guys. Well, it's not going to be difficult. Let me just do this. And keep the carabiner on there. And it's just a lightweight thing. It's not really anything major. If I'm at the dig for worms, I do have gloves with me, but we'll show that stuff off later. But you can put a handle on this if you have a screw and a washer, or maybe this big old screw because that's a big hole, or because they ain't jam knot or the jam knot. I'm gonna stick with jam knot, at least I'm gonna try to, and put it on there like that. Not on my fishing, but you get my drift. Some kind of stick about that wide apparently, because that's what that's going to fit into. And you might be able to bend this to kind of make it more of a, kind of hard to explain, where it's like this, the handle, and bend it onto the stick a little bit before you tie it. But anyways, I'm going to shut up, look for a worm, and we'll get to fishing. Well, I didn't have to wait too long to find the worm. This little guy right here should fit that hook. It's a small hook. I'm after small stuff. I'm not after a trophy fish. We're going to pretend we're in a survival fish situation here. That's what we're going to do. Just pretend. I'm not in no survival situation. You got to go that way. The road's right there. In fact, I'm going to hit the dollar store here in a minute for a Mountain Dew as soon as I'm through here. There's the worm, of course. And we'll get it on that hook. As soon as I put some stuff up, and we'll go down there and go fishing. One of the things I am done with when it concerns this river is look at all this green stuff. And some of it's right in the middle. This was the clearest spot I could find. There might be more of a clear spot that way. But again, we're talking about having to bust through some brush. Doesn't mean we're not going to. Like I said, I didn't want to do from that side. So we'll see. I know there's a road behind me. Or yeah, is there a road back this way? And I think there's a road back that way, so I have to be careful. I don't believe I'm trespassing. I didn't see no signs. Plus, I saw where a person may have been fishing. Some rope tied off to a tree. And the rope wasn't no good. Been there for a while. But yeah, and I went ahead and cleared this off. My plan is I'm not going to swing that hook and throw it out there. I'm afraid I will get tangled up. I'm going to try to keep my thumb on it by holding it and just cast it out there. I've done practice while I was inside the shop, and hopefully I don't get too involved with this mess. There's things like that sticking out here, so I might have to get on my knees and just, or bend over and cast it low. We'll see. Like I said, I do have a bobber. The stream or the river, there's a stream back that way. But it is kind of flowing. You guys can see it or not. So the only issue I have now is recording on this phone. It's making this more difficult than it needs to be because the phone stand I have is already meant to be outside. It's meant to sit on a desk somewhere. But it's lightweight, so we'll figure out where we're going to stand this up at and we'll get to casting. Alright, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my thumb here. I'm going to get this handle just like this. That way I would go the wrong. I have my hand down here while I'm throwing it back in. We're going to try without the bobber first, which I do have in my pocket. And we're just going to do this. I'm not going to swing no hook, nothing fancy, just like this. But if you're going to do it like that while you're keeping your thumb here, make sure you got a grip with this part of your hand. You do not want to lose your rig after you get something like this set up. That'd be maddening. I'm going a minute, it's kind of wet through here where I got my phone. So hopefully it don't fall over. So I was on my knee. Should wear my camouflage. That's alright, wash. Let's see what I can do here. Know if you guys can hear me. Alright, something went wrong. Didn't have this problem a minute ago. Or yesterday. It didn't go out there. Might be doing it wrong. Alright. I'm starting to think instead like that. Maybe underhand, because the way I got this rolled on here, underhand might be the best instead like that because it didn't cast out. So let me show you how I have this worm on here. It was kind of a little guy. Maybe I should have had him bigger, found a fatter one. I think I'll be alright. We'll find out. Hopefully. It's kind of long, but it's a small hook at the same time. So we'll see. I'm not an expert when it comes to this. I actually had to watch videos. They said keep these about 4 fingers from the hook. And that's what I got going on. 4 fingers from the hook. The weights. Split shot. Split shot shinkers is what they're called. Now we're going to try this a little bit differently. Yeah, we're having problems, so I'm not sure what's going on. It's not casted. I didn't have this problem yesterday. Hold on. Maybe this has to. I wasn't going to do it like that. Bait's on there good. They just have to throw it out there. Yeah, it's not cast. I don't know what's going on. One thing I caught there was a little stick. It might be the way I got it on there. This gives me a moment to see what's going on through here. I didn't get tangled up that mess. I'm having problems casting. Didn't have this problem. Yesterday when I was playing with the outside, then I got to up there. Alright, cool. So, there we go, I got it back. My worm's still on there. Worm's still on there. We might be having technical things. I don't know what's going on. I didn't have this problem in the garage. That's why I didn't want to really do it underhanded. Yeah, it's not casting. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to pause you guys and I'm going to play with this. I'm not having much luck getting it out there. Alright, so with some practice I was able to get out there. I got hung up, lost my worm, and also lost one of my split shot sinkers. Didn't have it on there good enough, I guess. So we're going to try with one, and with that, we're still practicing. Let me try this again. The way I did it was I just took it and held it in this hand and threw it out there. This green stuff is kind of a problem. I'm going to have to try clearing that out here in a minute. Let's see if I can work with one split shot being on there. Alright, it didn't go out in the middle of the river. It is sinking, I can see it sinking. So I'm not sure. I need a second split shot sinker on there, or weight, or you want to call it. And I may just put the bobber on there. I'm going to try to grab the long stick, see if I can clear some of this green up. It's kind of a struggle to work with. At least my hook's staying. Put the bobber on there, it'll add some more weight to this. I'm hung up with that now. There I can drag it in. Nope. At least got out of that one there, are you? Folks, I'm going to get back with you. I got to find another worm. I'm not going to give this up yet. So I keep on dragging green stuff. So I can't say I'm not catching nothing. I'm getting tangled up there now. That's this part of it. You got to practice this stuff. There we go. Thought I was going to have a rat's nest up here. Now that I kind of figured out how I cast this, so I don't know how deep it is where I'm casting it at. So I'm going to take a wild guess. And I'll get back with you. This is the bobber I have. It's not the usual red and white one. I was given this fishing kit months ago. I think I was still in Wisconsin. I don't even remember. I was near there. I may have still been in Arizona. I don't even know. But one of my rides decided to give me a fishing kit. That's my first time really using it. So yeah, just the usual. Start up here. And you take your line and you twist it 2 or 3 times and it should stay. Should. At least that's what I read and watched. Like I said, I'm not an expert when it comes to this stuff. In fact, I really don't know nothing about it. The fishing I had to stay up on with paracord. I'm not explaining this. The fishing line, we know how it twists. Try and keep it straight. Try and get through that hole. And the fishing line kept on wanting to twist back on itself while I was doing it. It took me a minute. Nothing like the paracord. I will try to explain how I have it tied on there later video with paracord. So I'm not going to try to do it with fishing line on here. You guys won't be able to see it. I'm wearing glasses just to be able to see that green line. I think it's a 10-pound test, but I'm not sure. But we're going to use this for my bobber. Alright, this is how I got it. That's how deep I'm going. I gotta find the worm beans. I lost that guy because I got tangled up. I still have to clear that up. I'm gonna take a stick and just try to get this away from there. So I'm not getting hung up in it. But yeah. So there we go. Every time I've been handed a fishing pole, it's already been rigged up. So I never had to mess with it. It took me forever to learn knots, folks. It really did. It took me staying in one spot, really studying on knots. Now, I've already been having to study up on this one. I should have been studying up this one a long time ago. So, we'll see. But I think I got a fishing net that I like. It's simple. All I'm doing here is just moving this green stuff to the side. Not really taking it out of the water. It's just vines. That's what it basically is through here. That's in there. I ain't gonna move that to the side. Don't think I am. Never mind, I moved it. There we go. Now I should be able to cast. I'm gonna see if I can move more of this. Oh. That's some heavy stuff. I'll go ahead and break that off, things I got the worst of it right there. Alright, I just saw a little bitty minnow looking fish right here. A little tiny old sucker. So I got this cleared out. There are these here. This water actually ain't that bad. It's clear. I wouldn't drink it like this. I didn't bring my water filter. I gave myself a choice. A way to boil this water or a way to filter it. I went to metal pot. The only thing I didn't bring really was a towel. Now I got a big old bar of water through there, so I'm not worried about it. But yeah, I shouldn't get tangled up with nothing. Got me a nice little spot clear. I can now cast out like I was. Folks, I'm having an issue I never actually had before. I just switched to my lure that I had, as you can see. So the issue I'm having is this is a sandy area. I even dug next to the river hoping to find worm. I went all over the place. And then I had to get away from the roots. That show was great and all, but I was dealing with tree roots. I found a worm the first time out the spot that it'll be able to do. I can't even find the other one, so I don't know if it's because it's a sandy area here in Florida, because the more I dig, the more sand I got, even here. And it's muddy, but I'm not getting any. The more I dig, the sandier it gets. So I just don't know if worms or grubs, because I can down trees. The only time I found with one was a big old ant nest under a tree, and in the tree that's down is rotten. No grubs, no worms, no nothing. So I'm gonna stick with this. I am starting to wish I brought my whole tackle box to wrap the thing to take, because that's the only lure I brought. I did not leave my sinker on there this time. This. Still having no problem casting, so that's going to be some practice. I'm also having problems with getting it out in the middle of the river. Every time I drag this thing on, the only thing I'm dragging in is this green looking moss stuff. So I'll cast it and we'll show you what I'm talking about. Now that I'm on my phone, might be fun. Even though me clearing this spot, I'm not really getting hung up on Guess what I just did? I just threw that in there. It's not sinking though, so I might be able to save it. That's why you gotta have a grip on it. If it float back my way, I'll get it. That's kind of deep right there. Let me see if I can find something long. I'll be back. You see that? I literally just threw that in there. That's why you gotta have a grip. So I gotta figure out how to cast that without doing that. Well, the good news is I got it back. Now we got something to laugh at. So apparently I need to work on casting. I did this like 10 different times. That shop didn't do that. You really have to have a grip if you're going to do that, because you will end up throwing this in the water if you don't. So I'm going to try some different techniques. I'm just going to keep this rolling. We'll do it a few times and I'll show you what I have. So what I'm going to do now, so I can hold on to it, so we don't do that again. Holy mackerel. Let's just give me a little bit of line here. And we're just going to throw it out there. And that didn't do too bad. I'll roll it up quickly before it sinks to the bottom. Might be dragging in something. I'm trying not to roll on my wood here. That's what I'm doing. Pay attention to what I'm doing here and keep more towards the top. I didn't drag in nothing. Yes, it did. Just a little bit. Not as much as before. But I'll show you what I got going on here. I gotta pay attention. I'm putting this on the wood. So I can tell you right now, from my experience with this thing already, is I'm gonna have to make a notch for this to set inside of. Otherwise, I'm gonna be not paying attention and rolling it right there. I don't want it right there. I'm going to try to cast it like that though. We'll see. But I'm going to start doing it like that. I'm going to see if I can get out even further. Whoa, hold on a minute. I didn't show you the stuff I have been dragging. I'm only dragging it a little bit. I'm trying to be quick about how I wind it up. Back on here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I got to get that off there. But it's not as bad as it has been. It was thicker. So that's what's at the bottom of this river. Now I was told there's fish in here, so hopefully we'll be fishing. And if you guys have any suggestions that I've ever fooled with something like this, besides the carbon, I already know I gotta do some carbon, something my fishing line is set inside of. Or even a different way of tying this on here without doing the arbor knot. I don't mind the arbor knot, but I don't mind learning new knots. So we'll try this again. Now I'm not going to swing it. I've seen people do that before. I'm afraid it's going to either tangle up on itself or end up here in the branches. And I think that's on there too, where I ended up on the branches. This seems to be working all right. I'm going to go ahead and get that off that bottom part. Probably touching the bottom now. I'm going to fix that. Pay attention to where I'm winding here. Now see, there we go. So that green stuff, I gotta get that off there. I'm thinking maybe I should have some kind of split shot on here, one or two. See if I can go out there further. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm learning things as I do this, even though I'm not catching nothing. Now I get this back to shop. I'm not going to be able to mess this on my phone and show you guys. I'm going to do this one more time. I've already discovered how I cast this, but I got to be able to throw it out there. Now I'll show you the stuff I have. I got a little bit too unwound. We'll find out. Oh, I got out there even further. And hopefully I touch the bottom. Pay attention where I'm winding here. Put on that tape. That ain't too bad. Green stuff I got on here. I had to worry about my battery now. I noticed my screen kind of dimmed on me. And that's why I really came out here, just to enjoy the woods, have some fun, and I've been having fun, and to learn, and we've been learning. I can tell you now, I need a notch right here, something for that fishing line to set inside of. I can tell you how I like to cast it. I like to hold on this fishing line. Uh-oh. When I dropped this, and everything came unwound. Not sure what's going on here. Hold on. This is where I'm starting to think I need split shot weight on here with this lure. It's a light one. Starting to turn into a bird's nest. Paracord is way different than fishing line, how it acts. It will tangle up on itself without you even doing anything. Of course, I've seen paracord do that before. They're doing something for no reason or another, it just tangles up. I'm going to keep my thumb on here. I'll keep it tight. And, oh, I almost hit that tree branch. I'll show you what else I'm starting to learn. Yeah, I caught green stuff this time, and a lot of it. That's going to be my last cast. We're going to discuss this a little bit and what I've learned. Alright, so here's what we got. Here's what I've learned. And I'm glad I had this. Because apparently there's no worms where they're saying, except for that one that I found. I went all over the place. I even went next to the river, hoping to find something. I know there's life in there because I saw a little bitty old minnow. I mean, we're talking about a bitty thing. So that means there's fish in here. I want to revisit this place again, or at least a place like it. I'm not staying in one spot. I am going to keep this, but where my line's sitting, I want to be able to saw it and at least have a bevel or something where this will set down inside of it. That way, if I'm having to roll fast, it's not getting down here. Now I need just enough of a bevel for this to be like this. 2. Apparently that was a bad idea. I've seen people do it like that before, and even they said you better have a grip on it, or just throw it out there. We just saw me do that. Thankfully I was able to retrieve it. I'm also noticing that even when I do it like this, it's coming off there in a way that if I am throwing it straight, it kind of goes this way or that way, depending on which way I'm holding it. Because this here, I need to round this off. And I probably should have rounded it off down here. this stick, it's straight. So I just need to round this off to where it's completely round, along with this fan here. And I like the top having a long handle. That way I can take it, hold my left hand, and just toss it out there. Actually, the last toss out there was a pretty good toss. So I don't know how deep this is. I wouldn't mind coming here with a hook and that bobber and seeing how deep it is. So we'll see. Like I said in that tape, that's where I had this lure. I got hooks. I got those split shot sinkers. And I lost one in the river somehow or there. I gotta make sure I get him on there good next time, because the other one came off easy too when I was swimming with it. I actually meant to leave it on there. But I think with this particular one, because it's so lightweight, you know, you threw it out there, I wouldn't mind having a split shot on here. Go along with them. I'll let you guys tell me if that's a good idea or not. I'm not. When it comes to this, like I said, that for every time that I've been handed a fishing pole, stuff was already on there for me. I didn't mind taking the fish off. But I wasn't taught how to really tie, because every time they tried to teach me, and I couldn't understand because they were doing it so fast. They didn't seem to understand you gotta do this slowly. And that's why I do my knot videos, just slowly, and I try to do my best to keep your fingers out of the way. But to do it as slowly as possible, at least 2 or 3 times. Because that's what it takes for it to stick in my head. Because you're doing that knot real fast, you're trying to teach me how to do it like that, good luck. I'm hard-headed when it comes to some things. But this, I'm liking this. So it's a fun project. I'll try to make one on here when I get more practice. But right now I'm not comfortable putting this on video of me trying to do this. I'll show it off along the way, see what improvements I made on it. But that's it. Folks, well no, because I want to show you what I brought. So, be back. First, the very first thing, the haversack. Water. I brought a pot that has a Ziploc bag of rice. Be willing to bring food. Don't necessarily be what I'm carrying, it's just what I had. I have my Silky. Now, I'm not going to call this video fail. Why? Because I learned something. But if this is the case, I wanted to make a fire out here to cook the fish as the primitive way. I was going to gut the fish, scale them, depending on what's in here. Take the scales off the fish, what I meant by scale. Gut it. And hook a fish to the mouth. Over coals. And heat up the fish like that. You can tell they're done by the white of their eyes. I've seen enough videos on them, I'm actually comfortable with that. Of course, my hobo fishing rod. I don't know what to call it. Hobo hand fishing. That's what we're going to call this thing. I want to call it a reel, but it don't have a reel on it, so I don't know. Fishing pole, I guess. Cordage. Now, you're going to see that I brought some cordage. There's a lot of naysayers say you shouldn't have so much of this and so much of that. Well, I say bull because this is what I do. Did grab some bank line? Probably should have grabbed more because there is passive fishing. I've seen that done enough times. I know how to carp. I am not giving up that video because it's too much. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I think we can do this. I think we can do this. Just send some panicking. We'll be fine. I really have to quit yelling at this guy. That's stupid. Jesus. Let's blow that right a little bit. Alright, I know what's going on. My phone just shut itself off, so I brought my charger. So you guys are on that? The video's still running, so I'm not sure what's going on. And I don't know how to edit, so kind of forget that part. But like I was saying, I know how to do the 7-inch. I've seen enough videos on it. Maybe throw some 9 out there and do some passive fishing. And hopefully this stays on. I've never seen this do that before. As far as electronics go, I do have a backup flashlight in my pocket. I have my headlamp. I do like being hands-free. Got new batteries in it. Again, an abundance of batteries. I think I was actually saying, or maybe I got through saying it and this kind of came undone on me. Don't know how. Might be able to fix that. I'll mess with it here in a minute. I like to have the abundance of stuff because I hitchhike. It's not like I can just go to the store and just buy whatever I want every day. Every time I run out of something. I do try to work. This is how it is. Also, if you're going to have a knife. Yeah, I know it's a gadget, knife sharpener, but it works. And put everything back in here. And the stocking cap's case I have to wear, plus it gives me extra protection if it were cold with the electronic stuff. I had that charger in there too that I just showed you. It's going to be a long video. Shovel, of course. Like I said, you can take a handle, or even if you have a screw, a big one with a washer. That's probably going to bend those. I was kind of. That's what I was trying to do. It ain't the strongest shovel in the world. Lightweight and it works. Extra fishing line. Yes, I probably could have hanged it. But every time I've done that, it's always tangled up on me, so. My survival kit. Kind of heavy, but that's what I need. It's got first aid, burrow rods, lighters, and a bunch of stuff. Map with compass. Have a pen in my pocket. The Write in the Rain notebook, I seem to have misplaced it. File in my pocket somewhere. Those camouflage pants, I love them. Because I don't end up with this problem. With the dirt showing up like it's going to with these pants. But still. Riding poncho in case I need to wear it or shelter. Also, gloves. Which apparently, I didn't wear them while I was digging for worms. Not that I found any. Apparently worms and grubs don't hang out in the sand. And this, which I'm about to use, I'm seeing all kinds of old man's beard. Old man's beard is a flash tinder. You want a bunch of it. You want to break it down as much as possible. That's what I'm starting there with old man's beard. Have something with you that'll catch also. Windy conditions. Have a fire starter. I guarantee I got fire starters. I got that fat wood. You guys saw me use it on my last video. So, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I think I've gone on long enough about what I have. We tried to fish, hoping to catch something. But like I said, we did learn something. That's what we caught, with some learning. So I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on the next one. You subscribe, please. Hit that. Well, first hit the thumbs up. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Do drop me a comment. We are learning off each other. And plus, I enjoyed, appreciate the comments. I'm hoping for some constructive advice on this. Or at least on the fishing part. I carry what I carry. You can't advise me to carry more or less. That's just the way I do. I also share the video out. I'm definitely going to remember to share this one out, I hope. Guys, it's a long one. I'll see you on the next one. Appreciate y'all watching. And also, I really appreciate the watch time matters out there. My views are up. Thank you. let's keep on going, folks. This ain't about making money. I appreciate those that follow me with this particular lifestyle and the adventure of it. See you guys on the next one.